Preview.
You're listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
Who it is, you know what it is. It's The Sizzle. Back in the building again. You see him, that's Rich Sizzle. I'm G Sizzle. You know who is in the building. You know what we're about to do. This is The Sizzle. The hottest talk in the 219, the hottest talk in the region, the best sports talk around. But look, before we can do any of that, I've got to tell you one thing. If you have not liked, subscribed, and shared this information, please feel free to do so. Hit the button. Go ahead and hit the like notification. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Hey, if you have some commentary, leave some commentary down at the bottom. We've had a lot of comments, a lot of people asking a lot of things. Like, hey, had my little brother say, hey, man, did you hear about Dame Dollar? And I was like, yeah, it's going to make you holler. Somebody else said, hey, did you see about LeBron? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. There's so much we got to talk about, but before we can do that, you have to like, subscribe, and share. If you do not, you will be fired like Danny Ainge. I mean,
ouch. Oh, man.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
okay.
He didn't like nothing.
Yeah, so let's just get into it. Let's jump right into it, Rich. All right, so we were going to talk about Dame Dollar's 55-pointer that still went for nothing. We were going to talk about LeBron James looking like old man LeBron James. Looks like a Wastelander episode from Marvel of Old Man Logan. We were actually going to talk about some things like the Knicks and the Hawks, a new brewing a rivalry. I don't know how it's a rivalry, but it's brewing. But before we can talk about any of that, we got to talk about Danny Ainge being retired somewhat from the Celtics. He's out of there, buddy. Man gone, man out, man down. Danny Ainge, go bye-bye.
What did you expect? You get knocked out in the first round, albeit to some pretty tough competition, but where is that team going? What is it going to do? Realistically, in the next 5 years, if you plot the course where you're at, where are you going? Are you even going to make the playoffs? Because Bulls might have a team that'll rival that. They get a halfway decent point guard. They'll knock them out. There is nowhere for the Celtics to go right now but to start over from scratch again, try to rebuild quick. They've done it before. They have the recipe for success. They can do it. But they know they can't make it anywhere with what they got right now.
Yeah, what they have right now is going to make it, I don't even know what you call it right now. You have, and to echo behind Charles Barkley's words, unless you get someone to say, hey, this is Jason Tatum's team. And that someone would be a Mr. Brown, who would have to say, I'm the number 2 and he's the number 1. Other than that, you know, I think Danny Ainge's love of diminutive point guards has been something that's doomed them. They don't have a point. They don't have a forward. They tried to get cheap and got rid of Daniel Tice, hence how he got to the Bulls. I mean, it's a lot of shenanigans. You have no bigs, you have no 5s, you have no 4s, you have no point. All you got is a 2 and a 3.
Yeah. Well, arguably, I was gonna throw out that Kemba guy, but what happened to him?
Let's go back. Diminutive point guards get beat up and then it's a wrap.
True. But like you said before, somebody has to take the lead on any team. Regardless of, I understand the whole concept of team ball. Somebody has to take the lead and lead.
Right.
Kind of like what happened to the destruction of the Lakers last night. But I digress. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I mean, you've got a Brad Stevens who said he doesn't really want to coach. He got burned out. You've got reports now coming out of Boston saying that nobody was really listening to Brad Stevens. And before we get to the Lakers, we'll transition to them. You've got a Celtics team, as you said. You're not better than the 3 top teams in your conference. You're not better than New Jersey. You're not, well, God, I keep calling New Jersey the Nets. And it's Brooklyn. I'm sorry.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So you got Brooklyn, you're not better than. Philly, you're not better than. And then you still got some other teams around there that you know you're not better than Milwaukee. And as you said, you fool around and the Bulls get a point guard, you might not be better than the Bulls.
Yeah.
So where do you go now? I mean, it's a lot of work for a new-time GM and Brad Stevens to come in and do a lot of work, and you don't have a lot of assets to move either. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Are you willing to put all that weight on Jason Tatum's shoulder and really say, okay, man, this is your team? Well, they're going to have to do that. Pretty much they're stuck.
Right.
They have no choice.
Right. You built the whole team around Jason Tatum. So it's his team now. He is the new Zach LaVine. So make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to suck. But it's not going to suck as bad as the Lakers sucked last night. Okay, Rich. All right. So I was watching the game.
Show me
Show
me some love, first of all.
Okay.
You thought I was crazy when I said they was going to get blown out.
Okay. So I was going to speed past that.
No.
That the Nostradamus now of the NBA is no longer Jay Sizzle, but it is Rich Sizzle, who accurately said that the Lakers were going to get the doors blown off, and it happened. Yeah, it was almost a 40-point drubbing. It was bad. It was like watching children getting beat by a NBA team. That's how bad it was.
I think the children would have done better.
Possibly. I mean, I've never seen a more disinterested bunch in group. And again, to Charles Barkley's point, why was AD there? Why wasn't he in LA getting treatment? Something? Why is he there? I don't need you here. I need you ready for the next game.
Yeah, acting like you're coaching. I mean, don't you have a groin injury? Why are you standing up? What are you doing?
Sit down.
Go up in the skybox somewhere and I mean something, anything.
And you're warming up before the game? Come on.
What is your purpose? You know, I like get your treatment, get your therapy.
That's it. Get what you got to get. So let me ask you this. In your crystal ball, is this the end for the Lakers?
This year?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to give you something good.
Okay, listen. I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched enough of it to figure out LeBron James did not, and I don't know if he just can have that concept of I am going to literally take over. Win, lose, or draw, it's going to be all on me. If we win, it's on me. If we lose, it's on me. What are you doing passing the ball to people you know aren't going to shoot the ball? They're not even looking to shoot the ball. He was creating turnovers for people not looking to make a play. You are the playmaker. Make the play. And that's how they got ran out of the floor. Quick and fast in a hurry. You knew that game was over, 2-3 minutes into the second quarter, right, when it was like 26-40, and they just put the foot on the gas and kept going because it's like, okay, Devin Booker's like, you don't want to take this game over? I will. What happened? And the rest of the Phoenix Suns follow behind.
Okay, man. So what is the deal with your boy Andre Drummond? Like, for real? That's what we're really doing, Andre? Like, that was the best fight you could muster.
What did you expect from him? It's an aging Andre Drummond.
Okay.
He ain't in the greatest of health either. Like I said, he would have had to channel that old Detroit Pistons whatever, but he didn't have it. And if he doesn't have it, I mean, he statistic-wise compared to the rest of the team, he did decent. What did he get about? 8 or 9 rebounds that game or something? Right. I mean, he played serviceable minutes, but that game was not about playing in the post per se on the Lakers side, because the Suns did whatever they wanted to do on the ball. And you had nobody there to hold the gap up or whatever else like that. I mean, the Suns came out and played like they were supposed to. And the Lakers came out and played like they had no clue what to do without Anthony Davis.
Right. Right. It was a total debacle. And it was so bad that, again, I didn't watch all of it because at the end of the third quarter, I was like, I'm done. If the Lakers come back and win this game, it'll be a miracle, and shame on me for turning. But at the same time, you had a Portland game going on where no one decided to either foul Dame Dollar or make sure he didn't get the 3 off. How about that? Let's make sure we're at least like 4 points ahead so that he can't keep taking a 3 and tying up the game.
Hey, but why? I mean, you got to be watching him go. And you're like, is he ever going to miss? What did he shot, what, 17 for 24?
Set a record.
Was ridiculous. Hit 12 threes, 12 out of like 7. He was throwing up Steph Curry-ish type shots, and they were just going in. It was just, I was like, wow.
Beat Klay Thompson. It was a big shenanigan, but look, don't you just foul him at the end of the quarter? Just, okay, if he goes to the line and hits 3, fine. But if he hits 2 out of 3,
no, because the way he was shooting, you would have fouled him. He'd have still hit unless you wrapped him up. You had to like bear hug him for him to not hit.
We just saw it in a game where you could pay the security to come out there and tackle him. Every time at the end of the quarter, the new play is 42 wide. 42 wide means the brother with the size 42 pants, he's going to come out and wrap him up on the court, and then, he'll go to the line.
Well, listen, you had to have something to talk about. Yesterday, there was nothing really phenomenal to talk about. And there is Damian Lillard. Like, wow. And matter of fact, we talked about it yesterday. I said, where is the playoff? They talk about playoff Paul. Where's the playoff Dame at? Oh, he showed up. It's just too bad he couldn't get no help.
I was just talking to Leak Sizzle about that. I said, it's sad because when you look at Dame Dash, the amazing part was it was record-setting. He was phenomenal, and everything was great, but it still doesn't matter. It's still, at the end of the day, you're just like, you're not going to win anything. You can't beat the top 3 East teams. I don't know how far you can keep going with this with McCollum and Dame and no power forward. I'm not afraid of C.J. McCullough, Dame Dollar, and Carmelo Anthony.
I'm really not afraid of Nurkic in there either. As your rim stopper, he reminds me of Carlos Boozer when he played for the Bulls. Yeah, he got 20 and 10, but it's like, were they valuable 20 and 10, or are they just padding stats somehow somewhere? It's like, where are you, dude? And that team is itself. So you have a Damian Lillard and a C.J. McCollum who both signed mega $1 million deals early. Mm-hmm. And now you're starting to come to the realization this team's not going further than the Western semis. They're not in any capacity for the next 4 or 5 years as their contracts are written. What can you do with that team? Nothing, pretty much.
Nothing.
You're almost in a worse situation where you're at than just not even making the playoffs. Because at least if you don't make the playoffs, you might get somebody through the draft that's promising or something like that. You have nothing at this point. You can't trade anybody. Nobody, if you're trading, they want Damian Lillard. Right. And you're not willing to trade him. No. Nobody wants C.J. McCollum. No. So you are in le basketball purgatory pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not hot. It's not fizzle or sizzle down there. It's just flatline.
Oh. I heard an analogy that even in life, you're on the mountaintop, you're on the plains, or you're down in the valley. And right now, it seems like they're on the plains, but they're really in the valley. You're kind of stuck there because you're not there's nothing about the Trailblazers that said they're going to win anything.
No.
And you just got Dame Dollar.
It wasn't the whole thing about McCollum, his defense, and you let Monty Morris, of all people, almost drop 30 on you. You shut him down, you win the game.
Monty Morris, I still say good candidate for the Bulls. I know somebody's listening. Point guard. Somebody's
yeah. If you can get that type of Monty Morris 75% of the time.
That's better than
yeah. You're right. Sorry about that.
Okay. So let's get into the 4 today because we got 4 games coming today. They're coming fast, they're coming hot and they're heavy. So you got the Wizards at the 76ers. But the funny new wrinkle in this is
The meniscus.
I mean, like, do we have to go through this every year with this dude? Every year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're in the same boat with Anthony Davis. I mean, I don't know who's hurt more, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, or Mary J. Blige in one of her songs. I don't know.
Hilarious. That was a good one. I wasn't even expecting that one.
I'm serious. Who's hurt more?
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean,
okay. So let's ask this. If they're hurt more, do the 76ers just go ahead and close this game out, or did they extend this out to like a game 7?
I think they can close it out. They still have what it takes to get past the Wizards. But that's it.
Yeah. But the Wizards at least have some Bulls on their playoff team. I mean, you got Daniel Gafford out there.
Who?
Daniel Gafford.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Moving right along. You've got the Atlanta Hawks coming back to the Garden, the Hawks with a 3-1 lead. It looked all great and wonderful for the Big Apple team, but now it's beginning to look soggy and old and gingy and dirty. I think the Hawks are going to clean out this. Clint Capella even said they're coming to end their season.
I like that guy, man. I like that guy. That's what you expect to hear from a playoff team. Say, hey, you know what? Nah, I'm not going back there. I'm going to stay right over here where the weather is nice and 85, 90 degrees. It can be whatever it wants to be in New York because this is it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing no more back and forth. I like that guy. That's how you're supposed to talk.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I think if you spit on my teammate, that I'm going to give you the business. I think you poked a bear that you didn't even know was a bear.
Yeah, and Trae Young has the same type of pedigree like Damian Lillard. And just go out there and just drop 45, 50 points and just walk off the floor like, hey, here it is. We're done.
And those who've watched Bulls games, you understand very clearly that both of them, Dame and Trae Young, played with the Bulls all season until the end, and then they beat them on last-minute shots because nobody can stay in front of them. So, okay. Am I expecting D-Rose, Quigley, and whoever else you want to put out there to stay in front of Trae Young? And there's been no answer, no rim protection answer. So
and I think Trae Young's going to go out there and go right at Julius Randle, get him in foul trouble, and that's going to be the game.
Yeah.
No answer to that.
Yeah. So let's move quickly. Let's go right to Jazz Grizzlies. Jazz have a 3-1 lead. They're at home with the Grizz. John Morant's been a cute story in his little band of minions. Everybody else knows who's playing. Does this continue on, or do the Jazz just play a tune and sweep them out of here right away?
Don't you kind of like want to have like Damian Lillard and John Morant on the same team? I'm just saying, two guys that have carried their team. And poor Damian Lillard, but, you know, John Morant, I mean, you kind of don't feel too sorry for him. He just got here. Right. So he's got to go through those growing pains. You know, kind of, I'm not putting him on this kind of situational pedestal, but kind of like, you know, we remember that one guy from Chicago who dropped 63 on Boston. You knew they were going to lose, but it was still a phenomenal. It's kind of like how Damian Lillard was, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, don't you just wish Lillard and Morant could be on the same team and just let them go?
At this point,
they probably still lose, but the score would be like 200 to 207.
At this point, I just want to see Dame Lillard someplace else. I know that sounds terrible. I know it just sounds bad. I just want to see him someplace where he's going to win something before he becomes old man Dame Dollars, and now he's just Dame a dollar.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting the Jazz to go in, put in work. I expect for Rudy Gobert to Rudy Gobert them, and I expect for Donovan Mitchell to spite. I still don't understand the nickname, but he can spite out all over everybody if he wants to. Is he Peter Parker, or is he?
He's the X Factor, whatever that is. You know, that game one that he missed, and I think the Grizzlies came in full of great attitude and energy. But it was over. It was over once the spider came in the room, and I guess he spun his web and
good one.
Shot his venom, whatever it was he got. I mean, but that was it. That was it. Now you see the result of it. So.
I think they snuck them in. They got one in on them. I think it would have been a 4-game sweep. I don't think the Jazz were ready for, because they've been laid off and they've been backing on. I don't think they were in shape yet to get going, but now that they're going, up and good. Last thing we got to talk about Cavs. Oh, good. That's a great one. Mavs and Clippers. 2-2 tie. Do someone, or is there someone who's going to chop the Mavs player in the neck and put him down? Doncic going down when somebody goes, and hits him.
Yeah, that you've got that unstoppable player, but who else from the Clippers is gonna step up? Because I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Who else from the Mavs are gonna step up? I don't see it. Nobody.
I think we're gonna have Keith Sweat perform at the halftime game.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Where's
he been at?
Nobody. You shoot it like they don't. Nobody. I think this is going to be, for some reason, I don't see, again, we're talking about the Mavs the same way we're talking about other teams. At this point, they need somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe a Laurie Marketing. It was still matter. They still suck. Exactly.
To stay with that series, I don't know if the Clippers have gotten themselves together yet. They look good, and then it's like the next game, it's like, what happened to you guys? It's like y'all just lost all that chemistry all within the overnight. You went partying that hard and sipped a Henny and just forgot everything that you guys just did. That's how they play. It's like, wow, that was a great game. And the next one, like, what happened to you dudes?
Yeah, I think they blamed it on the Droll and the Henny. They got themselves some blue tops and got busy. I think that they're going to blame it on everybody. If they lose, I don't see how you lose to a Mavs team now. I think you've got to go in to prove your dominance, to show, because the Nets have shown, the Bucks will show in this next series. You're probably going to see the best series out of the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
Get Nets, Bucks.
Yeah.
But you got to be ready, because those two teams are strong. They're very strong.
And I just thought about something very ominous. You could realistically wake up a week from now and realize that there's no Los Angeles team in the playoffs. I wonder what that's going to do for the ratings. Because there's a whole, the whole thing was, we're going to watch this LA versus LA matchup for the Western Conference, and it ain't looking good.
Okay.
It ain't looking good for one LA team in the Western Conference, let alone both of them.
Got another one. I got another one. What if you wake up a week from now and realize there's no Boston, there's no Chicago, there's no New York, and there's no LA Lakers in the playoffs?
Well, that's pretty much all that's happened. You're getting there.
I'm just going to ask you, are you excited about going to Milwaukee for playoff basketball?
Yes.
You are?
I am.
You are?
Yeah.
Who just says they want to go to Milwaukee, Rich?
I don't want to go to Milwaukee. I just want to see the Bucks play.
No, I'm not talking about the Bucks play. I'm just saying, do you want to go to Milwaukee? Is that really where you want to be?
No.
Okay.
No.
Who vacations in Milwaukee?
Aside from cheese curds, I can miss the entire state of Wisconsin.
Oh, aside from Laverne and Shirley, that was all they were really good. But you know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. So look, Rich, we're about to get out of here. Is there some prognostication that you have to give about the 4 games this evening? Is there something special that you want the people to know?
Nope. Get your popcorn ready. I mean, I think you're going to watch some entertaining basketball. Maybe not as entertaining as Damian Lillard, but particularly there's a lot on the line. Yeah. A lot left to be unsaid, untold. I will be tuning in to that latter match where it's 2-2. I like those games. You catch a 2-2 game, that's like a game 7 because that's for the momentum swing.
Right.
So that's the game to watch. I think you're gonna see at least one team get eliminated tonight, and then the plot thickens from there.
Okay, so we'll leave it there. We're gonna see one elimination today. The 2-2 game, whenever you're talking about that game 5 setting, that's gonna be the one. And I think you're gonna see.
I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
What did you think about LeBron James leaving the floor about 5 minutes before the game ended? Did you really? Was this fizzle or sizzle that he had to go get the treatment that Anthony Davis wasn't getting since he was sitting there hanging out on the floor?
It's all fizzle when it comes to LBJ. We've seen him do this again. We saw him do this in Cleveland. You see when LBJ gets in his feelings and he gets his tool and he just walks off like, I'm done with this. He channels his inner Isaiah Thomas, and then he starts being all pistony, and then he just gets all pistivity. He just walks off.
But he dropped 24 in the game. I mean, give him. You're not gonna give him no credit.
How much credit are they giving him right now in a loss? He dropped 24 and they still lost by 40. Good God, man. God, who else played? It was LeBron and then no one. It was like security and somebody else. And maybe Jenny Buss came out and played. And you dropped 24. You dropped 25 and you lost by 50? Oh, well.
Oh, yeah, you had that one guy, Taylor Tucker Horton.
Horton Tucker, Taylor Thomas.
There it is. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. He would be a really good fit for the Chicago Bulls.
Here you go.
Just saying.
You go recruit everybody to the Bulls, huh?
No, I'm in that mode right now. I'm recruiting, son. When you watch the Sizzle, know it first that Sizzle said, look, there are a few players out here. You don't have to be the superstar. We don't need the superstars. We just need a star. And we've got that. And we just need some star people around them. So look, man, if you can shoot, if you can defend, we need you. Chicago Bulls management, that was sent from them to me to you.
Right now, I would take Snickers, the alley cat, to go play for the Bulls. Okay, I'm just saying.
On that note, we gotta go. On that note, I can't even defend any of your tomfoolery anymore. You know what it is. You know who it is. This is the Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. We are the hottest talk in the region. We are the hottest talk in the 219. Look, he's Rich Sizzle. I'm G Sizzle. And look, we're going to get ready to watch these games. We got to come back and tell you, man, we got to do this again because we got to tell you what happened after the 4-game slate. So on the next episode, we'll tell you how we break it down, and we'll see what game was the upset of the game, because there's going to be an upset. Like, somebody's going to be really upset. They got sent home, Jack. That's what's going to be mad. Somebody's going to be really mad, and I hope nobody gets spat upon.
That violin shall be playing of mad drama.
Oh, the mad drama. You know who it is. You know what it is, and we will see you on the other side.
Did you know that you can listen to Iron Skillet Radio on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor? It's easy. Look for Iron Skillet Sports or #Skillet_sports for our latest episodes. We are Iron Skillet Sports.